Hello and welcome in. This is going to be for whoever needs to hear this message. I have no idea what this is going to be about or who it's going to be for, but without further ado, I'd like to pull a Moonology card, just one please. See if we can get a bigger picture. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. With it's time to take action, new moon in Aries at the bottom of the deck. And then I wanted to get a couple of this Oracle of the Souls oracles, which I'm not using the book. These are just intuitive messages. We have soon, anger, it's not me. And on the bottom of the deck, we have mirror effect. Interesting. I feel like this is for somebody who is really struggling to balance their spiritual path with their 3D physical life. You may have been feeling lately like a lot of, we'll say, esoteric doors have been opening. You may be hearing messages, seeing signs and synchronicities, things that you're not typically accustomed to experiencing. And it might be freaking you out a little bit. You might be finding yourself irritable, having nightmares, bodily aches that aren't normal. Like if you work a physical job, you're probably accustomed to having certain regular aches. I've been cooking for 15 years. My neck always kills, my back always kills. So it's not going to be things that normally bother you. But you might be having some like really weird bodily aches. You might just be feeling like really irritable and finding yourself really quick to anger as you're going through these changes and as these new doors are opening up and you're kind of feeling crazy and overwhelmed. Things might be setting you off. And I feel like this is a message for somebody who may have acted out in anger towards somebody that they really cared about, that they really care about. Or this could be vice versa. If you may be dealing with somebody who is going through these things. And I am getting this message of, it's not me, the way that I've been acting. It's not me. I'll be able to explain this soon. I'm trying to balance out my spirituality and my life. Like I can't take action yet. I'm not balanced enough. It's happening soon. It's not me. I'm sorry. And with mirror effect at the bottom of the deck, I actually do kind of get the feeling that this may be in regards to you and you may be connected to somebody in a very unique way. And you may both be kind of mirroring these things. You may both be opening up to new spiritual gifts, and you may both be seeing signs and synchronicities. And you may both be getting very quick to anger at this time while you're so overwhelmed with everything that's opening up for you. You may be on a twin flame path, don't have to be, but I do get the feeling that this is a message for divine counterparts of some sort, soulmates of some sort. Let's see. I have already pre-shuffled these decks, but I like to give them a shuffle on camera anyway. What is this about? That's way too many. One more, please. Thank you. All right, so we have the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, this message is definitely for somebody who is in some sort of a divine connection. We also have the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Actually, I'm going to scoot that stuff up here just a little bit. this right underneath me. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this is you showing up as the Queen of Swords, trying very hard to be fair, to be thinking about things in a fair and clear way. If somebody else has been acting this way towards you, kind of out of character, really stressed out, really quick to anger, maybe very quick to yell at you, and that's not something that normally happens. You may be trying to understand everything that may be affecting this person. And if you are going through this where you're feeling very overwhelmed with all these things that are opening up for you and you're acting out of character because you're just so overwhelmed, you may be trying to kind of detach yourself, disassociate a little bit so that you can look at the full picture, the bigger picture, and look at all the different things that are, coming into play here, and trying to really understand why, you or this other person are acting this way and acting out of character. I do see somebody here, a couple that, is very tied together, very grounded, very rooted. This does not feel like a new connection. If it is a newer connection, there's probably a lot of familiarity here. You may feel like, even though you've only been with this person for a short time, that you've known each other for years or lifetimes. But for many of you, I believe that this is going to be somebody that you've kind of been going back and forth with, which is why, you may be like, this is really out of character for you to be this way towards me, or, wow, I'm being really out of character towards you, because you've had enough history to really formulate an idea of, what's normal for each individual. There is also a lot of love here. Ace of Cups. Love for the other as well as love for yourself. This feels like a message for somebody who is really getting in touch with the concept of self-love and appreciation. And if you are on a twin flame path, this is for somebody who is really starting to realize that it's not about, coming into 3D union with this other person, but it's about, coming into this union with yourself. If you are on a twin flame path and you know that you and your twin are, yes, you're in two different bodies, but you're the same soul. You're always connected, whether you're together in the 3D or not together in the 3D. You are reflections of each other. And the journey really has so much more to do with accepting, acknowledging, and embracing that aspect from inside of you, and not so much to look for that validation and that need to have that person, right here, right now, in this life, in this 3D perception of our lives. It's about loving yourself. And part of loving yourself is, loving your twin, who is also you. I don't know if that made any sense at all. But I am going to see if we can get a little bit more here. Can you tell me about this Ten of Pentacles? Can you tell me about the energy of this relationship? The Hierophant. Yeah, very divine connection. You can't make this stuff up. The Fool. And the Queen of Cups. This is really nice. So we have balance, spirituality, and practicality. And here we have, the very practical, analytical Queen of Swords with the very loving and spiritual Queen of Cups. So I really do feel like you are finding this beautiful balance between, logic and love and spirituality and practicality, and really coming to this understanding that you can't really have one without the other. I do feel like this connection is going through some sort of a rebirth at this time, and you may feel like, with this Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, that you've been going through this cycle with this person, this in and out and back and forth, and perhaps this is a cycle that has occurred a couple of times now. Let's say you've been together for a decade, and every couple of years, maybe you guys open up to a little bit more in your individual lives, and you get in this kind of out of character way where you are overwhelmed and getting quick to anger. So, oh, look at that. underneath the Two of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Wands and the Empress. Whatever cycle it is that you guys are going through, whatever you're opening up to, whatever is making you guys feel like it's not me. This isn't me. Oh, well, that's it. That's interesting. Side note. Some of you or your person may be opening up to these gifts and are in extreme rejection of them. This isn't me. This can't be happening to me. I don't want any of this. Get out of my head. Leave me alone. Please stop communicating to me with these numbers and these I don't want to think about somebody and ask a question and then have a song come on the radio or on my playlist that just answers exactly what I was just saying. Like, please stop. Please stop. This isn't me. This isn't me. This isn't the life I want to live. Don't. Which is actually very common in a lot of awakenings. Though the one thing I will say is that may be why this person is becoming quick to anger. When you go through a spiritual awakening and, all these things start opening up and you start opening up and you feel very vulnerable, the more you reject it, the more you push it away. Not only do these things become louder, it's very hard to shut these off. Not only does it become louder, but the emotions that kind of accompany what's going on become stronger and stronger, which can very much so lead you to a place of anger, as opposed to a place of love or understanding, which you are really trying to find balance in both of these things right now. But I do feel like whatever cycle this is, that's going on, going back and forth between the two of you, it's meant to move you forward towards this Emperor and Empress type of energy, this very divine, this very divine energy. The Hierophant, talks about higher educations, but it's also, our connection to the divine, to God, source, the universe, whatever you want to call it, as well as our commitment. The Hierophant talks a lot about higher commitments and, what is it that we are devoted to and what does that devotion look like? What does commitment mean to me? I do feel like you are very committed to whoever this other person is. And I think you're hoping for some sort of a new beginning to. Sorry, my kid just went running through the house with a force. I do feel like you are really hoping for a new beginning in love with this person. This cycle of anger and, being out of character has, I feel like, really taken a toll on not just you, but this person as well. It's really taken a toll on the relationship. Yeah, there's something that's being held on to here with that Four of Pentacles. And with the Knight of Swords, I feel like somebody is getting ready to talk about this. Can you tell me about the Queen of Swords? Where is... Can you tell me about the Queen of Swords? Yeah, Queen of Swords. What's the rest of this? I clearly wanted... Isn't that beautiful? Queen of Swords. For the Queen of Swords, we have the Queen of Swords. We also have the Lovers. The Nine of Swords. And that Eight of Wands with the Empress wanted to come out. So I really do feel like this Queen of Swords is you. This is how you're showing up. And especially when I clarify with another deck and the same card falls out on the card I'm questioning about, I typically, to me, is just kind of validation for myself to know that what I thought originally is on, that's on the money. So I feel like right now you are trying to, with balancing your spirituality and practicality, and with that Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups, trying to kind of, balance your mind and your heart. I feel like there's some things that you have been really anxious about, whether you're acting out of character or this person has been getting angry with you, that's it's kind of keeping you up at night. You don't really understand why it's happening this way. All you know is that it is happening and you feel like there's some sort of a choice that needs to be made. This has happened enough. It might be that this cycle has happened enough times that you're starting to wonder, like, is this really not who you are? Or like, are you also this person? Because it's been a number of times now that you've gotten this way. or this person may be wondering this about you if you're the one that's, finding yourself quick to anger with all this overwhelm. But with that mirror effect, I really feel like you guys are both, I think you're both going through it in a very similar way. Even if it looks different on the outside, I feel like what's happening internally, what you're thinking about, how you're feeling about all of whatever is going on in your lives, it's very similar. The lesson is very similar. And when I feel like you're trying to make a choice, do I, underneath the mirror, we have loss, and we also have calm, followed with message of peace. So I feel like you may be, trying to decide, is it best to, cut my losses with this person? Do I need to make the decision to move on solo to really sit in my Empress energy and not fruit fly, not accept anything that is less than what I know I deserve, my divine birthright? Would you please leave me alone? Or do I choose to, try to have this new beginning and this understanding? Can I remain calm in the face of what's going on so that I can really be practical about the actions that I want to take, when it comes to this person? There's obviously love here, but you're having a really hard time deciding what direction moves you towards this Empress energy. Is, finding compassion for this person through this cycle that seems to keep repeating itself. Do you find that compassion and that understanding to be able to, not necessarily sit back and take it if they're being a real asshole to you, but, is having the compassion to be able to just step back for a little bit and let this person, kind of figure it out on their own, and then moving forward together the way that you always have been? Is that what's right? Or is it time to just say, this has happened enough times, I don't want to go through this again. Bye, and cut those ties. And again, I do feel like this is something that your person is also going through. I don't think that this is, a one-sided thing. Very interesting. Very heavy. We do have the Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. There's a real friendship here. Eight of Swords. Two of Pentacles. The Star, Eight of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, there's real friendship here, but there is so much anxiety around this cycle. Can we heal this, or is it time to walk away from that which is no longer serving us? There is a brand new beginning here coming with this Ace of Wands and that Ace of Cups. And it is divinely guided with the Hierophant, the Lovers, and the Empress showing up here. But the question remains, can we heal this? Or is it time to walk away? Tell me about this Ace of Cups, please. Tell me about the love. We have the Four of Swords. This is a card about rest, relaxation, meditation, taking a break, stepping back and giving yourself a chance to reflect. We have the Page of Cups. Somebody here is sorry. You may both be sorry, but somebody here is sorry. Somebody is, after sitting and reflecting, they're sorry. Somebody here feels like they've been carrying this burden on their own. All of these 10 wands, they feel like they've been carrying all of this on their own. And that I do not feel like is being experienced on both sides. Somebody here feels like they've been carrying this burden on their own, and the other person is acknowledging that based on their actions, they can see how this is, how the other person is feeling like they've been doing this on their own. We do still have at the bottom of the deck the Star with the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. This is what's going on. The bottom of the deck is like what's going on behind the scenes, the things you might not be fully aware of. And there is something that needs to be walked away from. That doesn't have to be your person. Your person doesn't have to walk away from you. This can be walking away from, poor communication. This can be walking away from other things in your life that are inhibiting you from, being the way that you wish to be, or to be, things that are preventing you from showing up for your person, or it just, in life in general, preventing you from showing up in the way that you want to be. I think you both can see the solid friendship that exists here, and both of you want to put the work in to not lose this. I'm going to ask about this Eight of Cups here. What is the Eight of Cups? What is it that's needing to be walked away from? What is no longer serving this couple? We have death and rebirth. The High Priestess. And the Eight of Wands. You are both going through a spiritual awakening right now. Your intuitions are being heightened. You are both going through such an immense transformation, and what it is that needs to be walked away from is the lack of trust around that. I think you both are very, very intuitive already. Both of you probably tend to have moments, where something comes up and you go, I know exactly how that's going to play out, or I know exactly what I should do. And then your ego steps in and tells you, nope, you're wrong, or you don't have to do that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then you go through where the situation plays itself out, and what you originally were, got that original intuitive hit dead on. And you went against that. There's a need here to start trusting in that deep knowing, that intuition. That's what's going to propel this forward with that Eight of Wands. Yeah. Oh, there's so much at the bottom of this deck that I want to talk about. I'm not going to show all of the cards, but I am going to read off what is there. The Prince of Wands, the Nine of Cups, the Princess of Cups, the Five of Cups. Maybe I can talk about this in blocks. And the Six of Wands. So here we have underneath everything, there is the desire here with this Knight of Wands to move towards ultimate emotional fulfillment and happiness. And we have the Page of Cups with the Five of Cups. Somebody's really sorry for not seeing the Two of Cups that they have while they've been focused on everything that, they've lost. And if this is, again, somebody going through a spiritual awakening where all this stuff is opening up to them and they're overwhelmed, there might be so much of focus on all these changes that are happening in their life that they're, they weren't able to see and acknowledge, again, the love that they have with you and vice versa. You may not have been able to see, or, you may have kind of temporarily forgotten about the love that's here with all this other drama that's been going on. But there is a conquering of that. Underneath it all, this desire to move towards, forgiveness for what's going on and to move towards your happiness. The energy for victory is there. We also have Temperance with the Hermit, the Hierophant, the Ace of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. I know it's a lot. Sometimes the bottom of the deck is really loud. But we have this, again, balanced spirituality and practicality. That's very much the same kind of energy I'm getting from Temperance with the Hermit. It's Temperance being quite literally balance and alchemizing different aspects of things, balancing the spirituality and the practicality. And we have the Hierophant here again. Divine truth and, divine truth and clarity around these burdens that somebody has felt like they've been carrying on their own. You're both going within right now. And I feel like this Ace of Cups is kind of, very current energy. You're both reflecting on this Ace of Cups and this love, and realizing and remembering that there is love here and that love does exist here. And it's not that, you guys are acting this way towards each other because you don't love each other. There's something else, something very big, like an elephant in the room. It's loud, but nobody's talking about it. But even though nobody's talking about it, I do feel like you're both reflecting on this. And I think you both have some, an apology that you'd like to say to the other. There may even be an acknowledgement from the one that feels like they're carrying this burden on their own, that they understand that they know they're not, and they understand and can see everything else that's, affecting. Excuse me. They're starting to see through this pause. There might be no communication or very little communication right now. You may be at a distance from each other. But in this reflection with this Four of Swords, the one that feels like they're carrying all these burdens may be acknowledging and realizing that that's more of a reflection of themselves projecting, because they are, through this reflection, realizing, well, look at everything that they're dealing with right now. They told me that they were really stressed out about this, and, then this happened at work, and this is going on with the family, and I feel like you're realizing, I keep saying so I do feel like you're probably the one feeling like you're carrying this load by yourself. And I feel like you are, starting to realize that that kind of a feeling is your own responsibility. And you can choose to put that on this person and remove the need to be accountable for that emotion from yourself. Or you can acknowledge that this other person is going through a lot of things and probably genuinely just doesn't have the capacity to even pay much attention right now to this love and this connection and this relationship, because there's a lot of other things that they feel like they're losing, and there's a lot of other things that, need their time and attention. And again, Page of Cups. You're realizing that they have just not had the capacity, while they're realizing that, they did let this, kind of go to the side for a minute, and this is something important. You're somebody important to them. And I feel like they're sorry that they've not been able to show up for you the way that they want to because of what they're going through, while you're wanting to say sorry for putting so much extra on them when you know that the lack of, I don't want to say the lack of care, but I think that's the best way to put it. It's like they do care. They just they've not been, the lack of showing up. You're sorry for taking the lack of showing up so personally when it doesn't really have anything to do with you. And as a matter of fact, it has everything to do with all this other stuff. And I think that you both feel so safe within this love. Like, I think you both trust that the other loves, that you guys each love each other so, like, truly unconditionally, that sometimes when other things are falling apart in your life, because you trust that this person loves you so much, or they trust that you love them so much, that it's safe to just kind of forget about the relationship, because it's going to be there when you're able to come back from whatever is taking your focus. It's still going to be there because they love you so much, or you love them so much. And that's great and all to be, to feel that safe and secure, but sometimes that can cause problems for obvious reasons. This is a very beautiful and deep connection that you share with somebody, and you are both mirroring each other and reflecting back to one another, the issues. It's so, when we get triggered by something, it is an indication that there is something that we need to heal within ourselves. And you guys are really shining the light, I think, right now on I'm hearing some of the last big triggers that you each have. I think that this connection has been through a lot. I think that it has kind of been tested by time and situations, people, even the divine, I feel like, has been dropping tests on each of you and together. And it's kind of coming to this point where it's time to make a decision on, do we really want to move forward and have this divine connection? High Priestess, splitting the deck. Are we going to trust this intuition, this deep knowing that we have about this connection? King of Cups is underneath that. King and Queen of Cups. Again, divine counterparts, which the Hierophant and the High Priestess are also divine counterparts, the most spiritual divine counterparts. You've put a lot of time and effort in with that Seven of Pentacles, and you're both stuck right now. Scared and emotional with that Moon, and at a crossroads. It's time to make a decision. What will help the collective listening in making the right decision for them? You need to release resistance. This is actually beautiful. So the Five of Wands and Death came out together, mostly together. Or I should say, the Five of Wands came out, and then when Death came out, it landed right on top. This is resistance. This is inner conflict. This is, this can be conflict with others, but it feels more like internal conflict. And with Death coming out right on top, the best way for you to make this decision is to release the resistance around your intuition. I think already what you want to do, what's the right thing to do. And I think those are the same thing. I don't really feel like you are conflicted in... I don't think what you want and what your intuition is telling you are two different things. I don't think that is conflicting. I think what you want and what your intuition is telling you is conflicting with the ego-based fear mind. I know we're meant to be together and I want to be together, but if it doesn't work out, then I'm going to get hurt again. Or that's where the conflict, the resistance is. And so we have the Five of Wands with the Death card there. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, and you'll see the Death and the Knight of Pentacles their backs are faced away from this conflict. If you can release the resistance to your intuition and you can start to trust that, you're going to start moving forward, and it might not feel like you're making much progress. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck, and it's like quite literally like one step a day. You are moving 1 inch every single day, moving 1 inch forward every day. You're putting one brick in the foundation of your new home, and every day just one. And so it's really hard to see the progress sometimes, and it feels like it's not moving at all other times. But every step made, every brick laid in a Knight of Pentacles energy is intentional. It is with thought. It is with care, so that by the time the Knight of Pentacles actually makes it to the end of the race or the end of the journey, the foundation built is so solid that nothing can knock it down. We have at the bottom of the deck the Wheel of Fortune, the Chariot, Justice, the Six of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. This cycle, this karmic cycle, you're about to move on from it. You're about to close this out. Whatever direction you choose to go will be different for everybody. Some of you are meant to step back. Some of you are meant to step in. Only you will know for you in your relationship what is true. But remember, you know what you want, what you intuitively feel is the truth, is the truth. There's a King of Pentacles here that wants to have victory and are gaining the courage to speak about this with that Page of Swords. You might get a text message or an email or a phone call, something like that, from this person expressing their truth. Small message, big feelings. That's what I'm hearing. I don't think it's going to be... I'll give you an example. I am a talker, if you can't tell. None of my readings ever end up short. And here we are, 36 minutes in on the dot. I am like this with everybody. So in my relationships, when I need to say something about a way that I'm feeling, I send the book. And I like to get everything across in a very particular way. And one of the most meaningful connections to me, the love of my life, who I won't lie, this reading resonates for me even a little bit. When they're able to convey very large feelings with very small amount of words. That's kind of what I feel like is coming in. Somebody's about to say something. It might be something as simple as, I know I've been acting out of character. I'm sorry that I've hurt you. I love you. I want to be with you. I want this to go the distance. Short, sweet, small. Not saying that that's what they're going to say, but for some of you, it's going to be something very small and short like that. But the words that are spoken to you hold such meaning because I feel like they're not words that you hear often. It's not something that gets expressed often. And so when it is then expressed, even though it's only a couple of sentences, it's huge. I'm about to run out of time. I have literally less than a minute before my phone is going to boot me off. Let's see if I can get one final parting message, one card to part with. What we got? The Eight of Cups. Walk away from resistance. Walk away from the resistance to your intuition, and the path will be made clear. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I look forward to speaking with you soon.